And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Gulfstream Park West. At this time, we ask that you please rise, remove your caps, and honor America in the playing of our national anthem.
Locked and loaded on this Wednesday afternoon, the start of week 3 this fall here at GPW. Ron Nicoletti, he's raring to go, folks, already getting down to it. Jason Blewett alongside, and I'm sure your weekend was good. And no rest for the weary, my friend, a new 5-day week.
5-day week, no rain around, at least where I was with my bicycling. So good to go. We got a fast-made track firm turf course. I'm excited to get the week started.
It shows, man. He's licking his chops, and we'll dive right into the fast and firm Wednesday, October 17th already. Second half of the month. We're 2 weeks out from Halloween, or what was that old joke when it was Halloween, or it was Happy Labor Day, right?
I call Halloween Valentine's.
Valentine's
And I got
Day.
in big trouble for that.
I know. Well, it's still, that's one of your many great qualities. Early pick 5, and again, we're a little late getting on the air, but we do have an early pick 5. Of course, a couple of pick 5s in the mix. I've got a single right off the bat. I would imagine that the 5 who you picked, Ronnie Damn Locks, in the end is going to be favored.
Absolutely the one to beat, I thought, in the opening race. And a pretty good sequence you got there for $18.
Yeah, can't go wrong with $18. And just, getting back to the 5 Damn Locks in the first, you get the connections and you get a horse who's got that early speed.
Yeah, drop it to the 12-5 level, stretching out to 5.5. Duel for lead, finished second. It was against 16. Looks like the one to beat. Closed it out with the 4. Madeline's Dancing. All about, hey, jockey change to Miguel Vasquez today.
Yeah, a little MV from the outside post as we move on to the second. Right down the middle today, 4 on the main, another 4 on the turf. And we'll sprint 5/8 on the firm grass with this 3 and up 2 lifetime claimer. Someone's going to win this race, Ronnie. It's a pretty soft field even for this condition. I picked the 4 Torchbearer, hoping this horse, if not on the lead, would be right off of it, ready to roll.
And it's funny because you say that. I went with 40 Hits, who I thought was the speed of the speed, and I thought in this spot, that was the one to respect. So we have dueling speeds in here, and got old Ed's dog. I like the name of that horse, and our boss in third. So not too much agreement in that second race there.
Yeah, that's the second on the turf as we get back on the main for Wednesday's third. 5.5 furlongs, some 2-year-old $35,000 maiden claimers are ready to battle here, and just like that, an early bird South Florida Rainbow 6 ticket, $14K plus, my man, in the kitty.
Yeah, $38.40. With 2 deep in here, my best bet is the 1 Lodgson today. I really like the way that horse ran, dropping just a notch this afternoon. Everybody's going to single Fallen Leaf, but I also use Treat Her Like a Star. 20 to 1 in the morning, like my trip out. We're at the fair. Big scratch in the last race of the 9 horse. I think that might turn out to be the controlling speed at a huge price. So $38 $8.40 for me.
Now, how about Armando's horse in leg number 1? I took the number 5, Guerin, who's a son of a revolutionary who is going to need a little hitting in here as he drops back to the main track. His only 2 races on the dirt. He's only had 1 race on the main for Armando against a much tougher field.
Yeah, he ran pretty good in that particular race, and he's been facing a lot of tough competition here.
Yep.
But I did, like I said, my best bet was Lodgson, who's dropping to the 35 level, turning back to 5.5 after vying for lead. Got out kicked with finishing second. That was a 50 maiden race contested at 3/4. You and I got to walk out one day with Louis Oliveras, and we had right after this horse ran, and he said that was just a little too long for this horse. So today is 5.5. So Lodgson on top of my ticket.
Oh, so it's kind of like a hot steam. I mean, the horse ran well, but you got a little insight from the barn as well, right?
Yeah, that was how I lost it. I thought he ran exceptionally well last time, and I think the drop 35 is going to help.
No, one of your strengths of late, this meet in particular, Ronnie, you've been really on the ball, certainly better than I've been in finding horses that can get loose or speeds that are just dangerous that may, on paper, not look like they're that fast. But Ronnie's been really good in that department. I hope it continues, man.
One other horse that we both use on a ticket, Why Trust. I want to just show you a stat on Oscar Gonzalez with his 2-year-old first-time starters. Maiden claimers on the dirt. He's solid. He's 15%, 34% in the money. And he's got a positive return of investment. Hard to leave him off any ticket, but I'm going with Lodgson. You're going with the 5 in there. So we'll see how that plays out. We were talking about Fallen Leaf. A lot of people. Did you single this horse in your ticket?
I did not single Fallen Leaf because of the potential pace there in the 4th race this afternoon. Now, you've got the Oscar Gonzalez stat working. You're the real OG of Gulfstream Park West for sure. But this late pick 5 does begin, in my humble estimation, with the best race on the card. And to me, Fallen Leaf, amazing claim. We become fans of hers. How fast does she have to run in here? It looks like the pace could be screaming.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I did with this horse. I couldn't leave this one alone on the ticket because I think it's going to be a really hot pace. And then I was looking for somebody that might trip out in here, and I used the 5 on that ticket. So I think you had to go. You know, you can go with the 2 in second, but Fallen Leaf, I couldn't single today.
Singled Vow Me Now in the 6th. I'll talk more about that horse when we get up to the race. That's just a straight-up pedigree play for me. I remember the dam running in the Big Apple, and again, just a little bit of a teaser as to why I think Vow Me Now is going to outrun his odds in race number 6. But if you need a little what have you done for me lately reminder here with the number 1 Fallen Leaf, she has been all but, or close to unbeatable, I should say. She's got that 1 loss on the turf for her current connections back in early August. But other than that, the race we're looking at back on September 27th, this has basically been a carbon copy in her MO off the claim for Averill and now trainer Georgina Baxter, where she's not as she's fast, but not as runaway speed crazy as she once was. She's the best horse in here, and they've got her to get around.
Yeah, and that 1 loss she had was when they just kept stepping her up to see where her level would be. I got an interesting stat. You mentioned Georgina Baxter. They're turf sprinters. Georgina's turf sprinters, all levels. Over the last 6 months, because she just became the trainer for those connections, she's 6 for 15, 40%, 60% in the money, $3.43 return on investment. This barn really does well with those turf sprinters. That's the point I was trying to make.
Yeah, and I like that stat because it's not just about Fallen Leaf.
Right.
Fallen Leaf's only 1 win in that group of a half a dozen, so that shows some diversity, which is always appreciated. If they go fast, I think the 2 Taylors in Orbit may be the one that is ripe to pick everybody off, and clearly Ronnie thinks mid-pack with the 5 treat her like star.
Yeah, 3-time winner at the distance, dropping to the 16 level after coming up empty, was against better. It's Gustavo Delgado, and he reunites this daughter of Kitten's Joy with MCL Jaramillo. That was the key for me, who was aboard for 2 of her 3 victories this year. And if this horse just can carve out a trip, 20-1 on the morning line. If it is 20-1, if I get 20-1, I will be at the window using Falling Leaf and that horse in my exact.
Sounds good. A 1-5-5-1 box for good old Ronnie Nick. Here's the 5th of the afternoon, back on the dirt. Another quick one here at 5.5 furlongs with these low-level 12-5 2-year-old maiden claimers. There's some guesswork involved with the 7 Major Ridge, but if he just can run a little on the dirt, maybe a fitter horse second out. He's supposed to beat this field.
Well, he's going to drop to the 12.5 level on the main track. He encountered trouble at the start. You go back and look at that last trouble line steady. Never really got on track in his $25,000 debut on the turf. Want to show you a stat on Mr. Ralph Nix with his 2-year-old straight out going turf to dirt. He's 5 for 15. 33%. He's in the money 53% of the time, and a $1.89 return of investment. That's just straight across all 2-year-olds going from dirt to turf. So tried this one on the turf, didn't work well, puts it on the dirt. I think we got the logical choice there. I used Town Jack and Gem 1. There was a big scratch in there of the 6-5 favorite.
Yeah.
School Song, which really going to affect that race.
And maybe it's a situation where Ralph likes Major Ridge and opted to scratch a horse who would have been a tick or thereabouts above even money in the one School Song. So maybe that's a little confidence for the 7 Major Ridge handling the dirt today. Moving on to race number 6, some 2-year-olds here. Card really heavy with some 2-year-old maiden runners, including these 25K maiden claimers who meet on the turf at 7.5 furlongs. Speaking of Ralph Nix, he arguably has the horse to beat in the 9 Bunster.
Yeah.
Of horses, though, that have already raced on the turf, you might have the co-favorite here with Channel by the Wind, who's first time for Mr. Peter.
Yeah, moved to the Peter World. The Bon Via, the claim cuts back slightly to the 7.5 furlong distance, tracked the leader early, got bumped late in that race, and finishing third as the favorite. It was a 25 maiden going a mile on the Gulfstream Park turf course. Thought this was the logical one, but I want to hear about the horse you have on top, and that's Vow Me Now.
It's just a pedigree stab. Broken Val, I guess I'm a little indifferent to his offspring on the turf, but the damn New York bred, actually, I remember her running, and she was just, with all due respect, a pretty average horse, but her lone win came on the turf, and she has foaled a whole bunch of multiple turf winners, including Get Jets, who was a stakes horse for Tony Dutrow. I think this horse, Look, I don't know if this horse can run at all, but I do feel as though he's going to give you his best effort to date, and he's going to be at least 3rd or 4th choice.
Well, I got him on the ticket there, and I actually used one of my goofy sayings when I did my analysis today. It said it's bred to take to the turf like a chinch bug on a mission. So I used one of my corn things because I really like the breeding on that horse.
I'm glad, man. That gives me some confidence there as we get on to race number 7. More 2-year-olds in store in this $50,000 starter optional claimer. I feel as though, for me anyway, this race may come down to the 4 Mozabello. Why don't we talk about your top pick, who I don't think it's questionable. He has faced the best competition to this point, right?
Yeah, he's returning to the starter optional, claiming ranks on the main track and turning back to a sprint distance. Hit the board in one of those 2 stakes going around 2 turns on the turf. Armando de la Cerda, Sammy Camacho. I just thought this was the horse. Class-wise, it's Mozabello.
Now, next door is a horse who has not faced. He doesn't have the experience. He doesn't have the foundation, nor with that has he faced the kind of firepower our top pick has. But Shafiro for Ralph Nix ran a giant race. I think really a good race first time out. Winning as a firster, by the way, with Tyler riding, and you'll get the services of Edgar today. This is not... For a first-time starter, Ronnie, to win over at Gulfstream Park, this isn't your traditional trip, per se, where you're towards the back early, and then you've got to basically sustain a 4-wide run throughout from the half-mile pole to the finish line.
Yeah, he really has showed grit and determination to win this particular race. Had a little trouble at the start. That's the reason I think this horse was parked 4 wide. You saw it turning for home. And look, you could see through the stretch, this keeps coming on. I like this horse. If it wasn't for the class Mozabello, I just thought this one, and steady earner, I'm always a sucker for turf to dirt. I think Shafiro would be the one to beat in here.
Yeah, not an easy race for sure for Shafiro, but there is some talent there as he steps up and faces better. And lo and behold, race 8, the finale. This is a quick one today at Gulfstream, folks, here at GPW, as we cap the card with the group of $10,000 Philly-Amer claimers. Huge early scratch, right, of the 9 Honor Indy?
Yeah, and that's what I was saying when I was showing you my ticket. I went 4 deep in the Rainbow Six because that was the major speed in the race too. So I moved up the number 6, who you have, Venezuela, Spirit dropping a notch, turning back to 7.5 furlongs. But take a look at Romantic Affair. Can turn out to be the controlling speed with the scratch of Honor Indy. The problem, I don't know if this horse can stretch that speed 2 turns. I might be just guessing there.
Yep.
But, I mean, I don't see any other speed in the race.
No, this horse looks loosey-goosey
Yeah.
with no Chuck Simon and Honor Indy in the race. Ronnie went 4 deep. I think it may just work out to be a favorite, or a battle, I should say, between the favorites, because 3 questions is obviously right there every time.
Right there just does not win. So, that's why I decided to go a little deeper. And then when I saw the big scratch, because Honor Indy was going to take absolutely all the money in there, I said, let's go a little deeper in this race. Maybe we'll get one of these speeds to stay and hold on and maybe score an upset in the final race of the day today.
Yeah, we're chasing 14,000 plus in that Rainbow 6, and we've got some Wednesday scratches and changes coming your way with Pete Aiello.
Whether you're at home or at the track, have a stake in the race when you bet with ExpressBet. Sign up for an ExpressBet online betting account and receive up to a $500 sign-up bonus.
The Fall Turf Festival is underway at Gulfstream Park West. Mark your calendars, because on Saturday, November 10th, Gulfstream will be offering 8 stakes for Florida breds, 3 on the turf, totaling $600,000. There will be 4 races for 2-year-olds, many with aspirations of competing in the winter and spring classics. Don't forget, you can watch and wager on Gulfstream Park West races in our world-class Silks Simulcast Center, located on the 1st floor at beautiful Gulfstream Park. Join us at Gulfstream Park and Gulfstream Park West on Saturday, November 10th.